welcome to episode 4 of Karlene's Anime Corner. Before we dive into our review for today, I wanted to share some exciting nerdy news I got. Apparently, Capcom is releasing a new Monster Hunter game for the Switch next year. And even better, along with our cat companion, there's now a dog companion, and you can ride it. I'm looking so forward to this game. I think I've watched the trailer 20 times already, and just talking about it now makes me want to watch that trailer again. I know, not very anime related, although there is a Monster Hunter anime, which eventually I might have to watch and review for this. But it is from Japan, and I am very excited about it. And there hasn't been a whole ton of things this year for me to get very excited about. So, on to our review for today. I'm going to be looking at a film from a small studio that you guys might be familiar with. It's called Studio Ghibli. Well known for such movies as Spirited Away, Castle in the Sky, Howl's Moving Castle. I love all their films. Gonna admit that right now. All of them are gorgeously animated. There is very little wrong with them, and it is just a blast to sit down and watch a Studio Ghibli film. Recently, they've been re-releasing their films in the States in special steelbook editions, and I picked up today's film and just got it in the mail last week in that special steelbook edition, so I thought it was a good time to re-watch it. So today we are reviewing Ponyo. Ponyo came out in 2008 and is directed by Hayao Miyazaki. It is available for borrowing from the St. Johns County Public Library. Sosuke is a 5-year-old boy who lives with his mom on top of a cliff in a fishing village. His father is a fisherman who spends most of his time on the sea. Ponyo is the daughter of a sea wizard who escapes her father and makes her way to land. There, Sosuke rescues her from a glass jar and mistakenly identifies her as a goldfish. When Ponyo is taken back to the sea by her father, she escapes by releasing magic that disturbs the balance of the sea and land and creates a huge storm. The rest of the movie is about how they choose to restore that balance. Perhaps what I love most about this movie, other than Studio Ghibli's amazing animation, is that there is no real villain to this movie. It's not an epic movie full of battles and grand moments. It is a story of a 5-year-old boy who makes friends with a young mermaid or goldfish or something, and that mermaid is trying her best to go back to a place she loved. Her father, Fujimoto, is a bit of a villain, but only because he thinks that Ponyo should stay away from humans because they just keep making the ocean filthy and she belongs to the sea. Out of the few characters in this film, I find Fujimoto, Ponyo's father, to be the most interesting of them all. He apparently used to be human, but somehow now has to always be on damp ground or water. He is also a wizard with a bunch of potions. He makes a comment at some point in the film about making a special potion that will revert the ocean to the vitality it had in the Cambrian era, which is pre-human. He seems concerned about the disruption of balance and the destruction of the land when Ponyo releases the potion early. But wouldn't logic dictate that the same would happen when he releases it on purpose? I'm a bit confused about his motives as far as humans are concerned. As far as Ponyo, he doesn't mean to be mean to her. He just wants her to stay safe and with her sisters under the ocean, which is why he sends some creepy water spirits to get her back. But Ponyo has very different ideas, and with the help of her sisters, she releases the potion and takes off on the wild ocean in human form. The scene where Ponyo is headed back to land to be with Sosuke again is probably one of the best animated in the entire movie, and one of my favorite portions to watch. Sosuke and his mom are driving along a cliff road back to their house while the waves roar and tumble over on the road, and they seem to be getting just ahead of them on their way back. And meanwhile, Ponyo's sisters have taken the form of giant fish made out of water, and Ponyo is running across their backs as they form the waves that are crashing against the land. It is just a fantastic, vibrant scene, with the water splashing everywhere, and the storm feels truly threatening, although you never really think that anybody's going to die or get hurt. This is a Studio Ghibli film after all. The craziness of the storm outside makes it seem all that much more calm when they finally get to Sosuke's house and they're safe inside, along with Ponyo. My second favorite part of this film takes place after the storm, when Sosuke and Ponyo have to leave the house in order to try and find Sosuke's mom. Ponyo takes Sosuke's toy boat and makes it large enough for them to sail along in, and they glide over the water and see all these strange prehistoric fish. Oddly enough, Sosuke can name all of them, even though he misidentified Ponyo as a goldfish earlier in the film. I really enjoy watching this film, particularly with the storm scene and Sosuke's mom's crazy drive up the mountain. I'm going to give this one a 4 out of 5 stars. It didn't quite make 5-star for Studio Ghibli, but it is in my top 10 of Studio Ghibli films. Maybe one day I'll review some of my top 5s for you. Normally now I would do like a Japanese culture moment to tell you a little bit more about Japanese culture. But there was something in this film that really caught my attention, and that was Sosuke's toy boat, because it seemed to be powered by steam, and I wondered if toy boats like that really existed. So I looked them up. Apparently they do. There is a type of toy boat called a pop-pop boat that was run by a very simple steam engine. In 1891, a Frenchman named Thomas Piot filed a patent application in the UK for a simple pop-pop boat using a small boiler. So this toy has been around since the 1800s. I had no idea it was that old. Apparently, in 1915, an American named Charles McHugh filed a patent application for the diaphragm type of engine, which is the one that Sosuke had. So it's, again, almost over 100 years old from the movie it was in. Pop-pop boats were made out of tin and were really popular in the 1940s and 50s, and then they slowly began to decrease in popularity as more plastic toys became out. It is still possible, however, to buy a pop-pop boat. I found a few online, and I'm very tempted to get one that's powered by candle, just to see how well it works. I can't believe that this toy is that old. I somehow thought it was much newer. And I never, for some reason, even though this is the third time I'm watching Ponyo, realized that their toy boat was steam-driven. It's just really kind of cool. If you have any great discoveries you made while watching an anime, or want to share what your favorite Studio Ghibli film is, you can contact me through the email address that's in the show notes. Have a great day and enjoy watching a lot of anime.